Yo, check this out. This kid with zero combat skills. He's like the worst fighter in the universe. But he might just be the guy to save the world from demons. And he could probably do it without even breaking a sweat, you know? Cause what nobody knows, not even him, is that he's got these hidden talents like only 1 in a billion people are born with them. Curious? Then come on. Let's see what's gonna go down, bro. By the way, before we get into it, subscribe to the channel, hook a brother up, and hit that like button on this video. Alright? Deal. Kurt and the crew are heading by carriage to Frontier Village, an old military base on the border of the Demon Land. They realize there's no teleportation stone in the area. Kanz thinks Sakura's team got lucky getting into the plan, but Ulysses says she recruited him because of his skills. Sina's suspicious, and promises she'll protect both of them. Once they get there, Kurt mentions he already fixed the walls of this city, but he got fired after 3 days of work. He finds the lack of progress after that kinda weird. Ulysses shows him the empty lot, where the workshop will be, and Kurt says he can build the whole thing in 3 days, totally shocking everyone. And Ulysses, all confident, promises she'll get all the materials he needs. At the hotel, the group's chatting. Sina spills the beans on how Kurt took down the Iron Dragon Golem, dismantling its body. Ulysses says she used to be a royal adventurer. Elise flashes her crest, revealing she's the 3rd princess. But she asks for major discretion, cause she's in huge danger. Sina asks if Kurt's also nobility, but Ulysses explains he's not. He's got no combat skills, but all his other ones are SSS Rank, which is like ridiculously rare. The kicker is, he doesn't even know it. The dude's exceptional and he's totally clueless. He's out here begging for any job he can get, when he could be the highest paid guy in the universe, you feel me? Ulysses and Elise hide their identities, and Kurt's talent too, cause they're scared he'll get exploited. They say they set up a workshop on the frontier, specifically to draw out the enemies who want Elise dead. Sina's got her doubts, cause after hearing Ulysses met Kurt 6 days ago, she decides to think it over. When she visits Kurt, she's blown away by how much he's already built. He explains he was happy working alone, since in his previous group, he was treated like trash. Understanding the situation a bit, she changes her mind and decides to help him protect himself. Meanwhile, Danzu finds out about Bibinoka, who destroys adventurer groups, and now had Sakura's team in his sights. He confronts him, but decides to spare his life. Bandana, the informant, notices Bibinoka is taken by the Phantom group, linked to Mimiko. At the same time, she gets a letter about Malefice, and decides to go to Kurt's hometown. The protagonist finishes the workshop in 3 days, leaving everyone impressed. He shows off the rooms, the water system he created with Ulysses' sapphire, and even beds with griffin feathers. He insists on sleeping in the kitchen, but the group tries to convince him to use the master's room. Ulysses asks him to put up anti-curse barriers, but Kurt says he doesn't know how to do that. It's unbelievable that he knows how to do anything else. He builds a mansion in 3 days, and he can't put up an anti-curse barrier? Nah, that's just talk, man. Ulysses then puts some talismans in Lisa's room, but the next day, she finds out he erased the marks, thinking they were dirt on the wall. She makes up a story that someone drew them to scare Lisa, but inside, she's freaking out. Without the talismans, it's even harder to protect her, especially hiding from Kurt about the assassins lurking around. And the worst part is, Mimiko even told Ulysses that these talismans couldn't be undone by anything. And then the protagonist shows up with a cloth, water, and soap, and just wipes away anything there, for crying out loud. This kid makes no sense, dude. Elsewhere, Malefice is seen with Bishop Tristan. He says he's gonna excommunicate her because of the group of caged dragons that were burned in the square. She swears she didn't do anything wrong, but he explains they need to cut her off to save the church's reputation. Even though she's sad, she accepts when Tristan gives her a chance. Complete a mission. And if the mission goes well, she won't be excommunicated, and he'll even promote her to priestess. He offers her a wine from the Gourmet Empire, but after drinking it, she's cursed and can only consume water, starving to death in a month. The test is to kill Lisa. She accepts, and, next thing you know, wakes up in a strange room, facing a demon lord. Meanwhile, and the weird thing is, Lisa hasn't suffered any curse yet, but she relaxes knowing Mimiko set up a defense network for her, and our cook, Kurt, keeps charming everyone with his food. Lisa even jokes that if she gets cursed again, she wants to be cured with his delicious treats. You sly dog. At that moment, the wizard tries to cast the curse on her, but the spell reflects and he just glows intensely, not understanding a thing. The dude tried to cast a curse and turned into Edward from Twilight. Kurt reveals that the mansion was adjusted to reflect curses, and Ulysses runs to tell Mimiko, while Kurt stays to take care of Lisa. On the other side, General Alride predicts that monster attack, but the vice, Generic, trusts the walls, especially the part Kurt fixed. They find the glowing wizard and take him to Mimiko. Felix explains that Kurt's reflector is so powerful, it even works on the dead. Ulysses thinks it's dangerous to expose him too much. But before they can argue, the bell rings, and an army of skeletons approaches the place. Allred gives the order to fight to the end, and Generic focuses on evacuation. And they soon realize that the skeletons disappear when they touch the walls reinforced by Kurt. Meanwhile, the demon lord coerces Marlefis. He's consuming all her mana and even her soul to summon more monsters in the ruins. She realizes she was tricked by the church and made a pact with the demon. Ulysses then reveals the plan. Knights will serve as bait while she and Allred attack the ruins to stop the monster spawning. Vice Generic accepts being the bait, but of course he'll survive to toast after the battle. Will he really, my man? Usually these side characters bite the dust, you know? But hang in there, pal. In the middle of the battle, Ulysses throws a magic crystal that purifies hundreds of skeletons at once, leaving everyone in disbelief. She and Allred advance to the ruins. Kurt, sad for feeling useless once again, tries to forge a copy of Danzu's sword, but only achieves D rank. Ulysses appears, thinks the sword is beautiful, and he ends up giving it to her. They chat, and she confesses that they're both in trouble because of her. And Kurt, totally spaced out, starts connecting dots that aren't even there. The ruins of Lapita are the perfect place for the enemy who drew the marks in the mansion. The dude thinks Mimiko's assassins are just some random wall tagger. He vents that he's weak and can't protect those who matter. Lise blushes, thinking he's talking about her, but he's referring to all his friends. Oh man, you set yourself up. You should have just cut it off, dude. They're both sharing the same feeling of powerlessness, and they decide they're gonna help the others in the ruins. Meanwhile, Ulysses and Allred are already surrounded by monsters, and they feel something even worse is coming. And Ulysses keeps cutting down monsters non-stop, but realizes there are too many. Even with Generic holding off a good chunk using the magic crystals, her stock is running out. And the situation gets worse when Allred gets hurt. The two almost get surrounded, but Sakura's group shows up and saves the day. Sina announces she found the ruins, and Ulysses opens the way with a crystal. Before entering, Ulysses gives Allred armor made by Kurt, which heals his wounds. Sakura holds off the monsters, while Ulysses and Allred enter the ruins facing zombies. Inside, Marlefis is at her limit, out of mana, trapped in the demon circle that uses her power to summon hordes of monsters. The demon lord appears and reveals his summoner, and Ulysses tries to purify him with the crystal, but it doesn't work. He smirks and says he's immortal, regenerates from Allred's blows using Marlefis's mana, and shows laughing how the city's soldiers are struggling against the horde. They cut off his head, but he revives, leaving Ulysses almost in despair. Marlefis, witnessing the scene, thinks she's gonna die. She even starts hearing Kurt's voice. She already thinks she's hallucinating, but he shows up with Lisa, opening a hole in the ground. He asks if she scribbled the circle on the ground, thinking it was just stress, and starts cleaning it. Marlefis is shocked that the magic circle is removed with a simple cloth. Meanwhile, the demon realizes he's not regenerating anymore. Lisa appears to save Ulysses, but she's stabbed by the demon. And Ulysses freaks out, man, thinking Lisa just died. But in reality, it was just a magical illusion from Butterfly, the sword forged by Kurt. This sword can create illusory copies of whoever uses it. Lisa takes advantage of the distraction and breaks a magic stone, purifies the demon, and ends the summoning. The fight ends, and the monsters disappear, and everyone breathes a little easier. Ulysses thanks Lisa for helping, and acknowledges they're only alive because of her. Marlefis is happy to be free from the circle, but still fears starving to death from the curse. Kurt then gives her rice balls he made. She eats, expecting to throw up, but nothing happens, and she realizes the curse is gone thanks to Kurt's hidden talent. Crying, she regrets underestimating his kindness, but he thinks she's just apologizing for the scribbles. Man, this kid is obsessed with the scribbles, dude. Dude, this kid's an idiot. Tell me about it. The kid sees a circle that's sucking the soul and mana from his ex-companion, sees a demon, and he's still harping on about the scribbles, man. For crying out loud. Suddenly, Phantom appears and forcibly takes Marlefis. She screams for help, but Kurt just says he'll visit her in jail, leaving her frustrated. Lisa and Ulysses talk to him, and Ulysses then thinks about the burden of leading adventurers. At night, there's a party in the city. Kurt finds it weird that people devour his food so fast, but Allred explains it's so good you just can't stop eating. Lisa introduces herself and says she admires him as a general, but Generic interrupts him saying the guy's a terrible leader, and the Marquis is the one who really leads. And everyone's there celebrating with the fireworks Kurt prepared, who just wanted to have fun with his friends. Allred and Generic notice their wounds disappeared after the meal, But Kurt thinks that's normal after all. Good food heals people, right? Yeah, it must be, my dear. And those two are suspicious that there's something bigger involved. Meanwhile, elsewhere, a chained girl gets a visit from Marquis Tycone. She wasn't supposed to be there, he wasn't supposed to be there, so what's going on? What's up, my man? Everything good? Enjoyed the episodes? If you liked it, dude, hit that like button to show some love. Subscribe to the channel too so you don't miss the next content coming up. Leave your comment down below too so I know what you thought. And if you want me to bring anything specific to the channel. Got it? I'm out. See you in the next anime, and peace out, my friend.